Getting fired at Houston's top law firm, I heard Jake tell his girlfriend, "Just use ChatGPT for the legal docs. Clients won't know the difference." I smiled and pulled out my phone with 41 CEO contacts who definitely would. What Jake Peterman didn't realize was that he'd just handed me the perfect weapon to destroy his family's century-old firm. I'm Rachel Miles, 36, and I'd spent 3 years earning $145,000 annually as Peterman Legal's most productive contract lawyer. My 94% client retention rate wasn't luck. It was the result of building genuine relationships with 41 Fortune 500 executives who trusted me with their most critical deals. That Monday morning started like any other. Coffee at desk by 7, reviewing the $12 million Hartley Industries acquisition I'd shepherded through 3 months of negotiations. Then an email from Jake Peterman, the 28-year-old Stanford dropout who'd been installed as executive director 6 weeks earlier. His qualification, being the founder's son. His experience, 5 years finding himself in Bali. In his corner office, Jake didn't look up from his phone when I knocked. The chair he offered was deliberately low, a power play from someone who'd never earned real authority. "Rachel," he finally acknowledged, setting down his phone like it pained him. "We need to discuss your future here." "Is there an issue with the Hartley acquisition?" "It's not about any specific deal. It's about cultural fit, dynamic synergy, the direction we're taking the firm." The way he said competent made it sound like an insult. Peterman Legal is evolving. We need team players who understand innovation, disruption. I bit back the urge to mention that law firms succeeded by thinking inside very specific regulatory boxes. "What are you saying, Jake?" "Today is your last day. Security will escort you out after you sign this." He slid a packet across the desk. Non-disclosure agreement, non-compete clause, 3-month severance if I went quietly. "You're firing me the week before Hartley closes. Tori will handle the transition." Tori, his girlfriend, the paralegal who'd started 4 weeks ago and still couldn't format a memo properly. I'd caught her using ChatGPT to write client correspondence, asking it to make this sound more lawyery. "Tori doesn't have a law license. She legally cannot handle acquisitions." "That's no longer your concern." His smile was all teeth, no warmth. "You have 1 hour to clear out your office. And Rachel, the NDA is non-negotiable. Share any client matters, any proprietary information, and we'll bury you in litigation." As security watched me pack, I thought about what they couldn't confiscate. My personal laptop contained 3 years of contract templates, due diligence checklists, and negotiation frameworks I'd developed on my own time. My personal phone held direct numbers for Patricia Hartley, David Foster from Nexus Industries, Maya Bennett from Blackstone Holdings, all 41 corporate executives who had my personal line, because Peterman's official channels meant 3-day delays. More importantly, I had institutional knowledge they couldn't transfer in a 1-hour briefing. Johnson Tech needed everything in blue ink. Their CEO was superstitious. Meridian Corp required all meetings before 10 a.m. because their board was London-based. Hartley Industries had hidden arbitration clauses I discovered and quietly rectified in 17 different contracts. I was home, transforming my dining room into a strategic command center. My first call was to Martin Bailey at Bailey & Associates, a boutique firm I'd respected for years. Within 24 hours, I had a consulting agreement, 40% of billings, full malpractice coverage, and legal protection if Peterman tried to enforce their non-compete. The first domino fell at Patricia Hartley texted, "Rachel, the new lawyer just asked me what force majeure means. Please tell me this is a joke." My response was carefully crafted. "I'm no longer with Peterman Legal as of today. I hope your deal proceeds smoothly." Her reply was immediate. "What? Call me now." "I'm bound by certain agreements. I can't discuss specifics." "Can you discuss anything over coffee, as friends?" By 8 p.m., 6 other clients had reached out with similar messages. Word traveled fast in Houston's corporate circles. Each received the same message: I was gone. I was restricted, but I existed. The real strategy began when I created my regulatory alert system. Every Monday, I send anonymous notifications to general business addresses, warning about compliance gaps. No client information, no proprietary data, just public service announcements about regulatory changes affecting Houston businesses. The first alert concerned Texas Data Privacy Act amendments that had taken effect 6 months earlier. Most firms hadn't updated their templates. When Maya Bennett from Blackstone Holdings received a state compliance notice citing 7-figure potential penalties, she knew exactly who to call. Rachel, I know it's late, but I just got this notice. Our lawyers say it's nothing, but the potential fine is $2 million. Can you take a look? The document was exactly what I'd expected. Outdated privacy policies, still using 2019 language. I'd flagged this exact issue in a firm-wide memo 8 months ago, a memo Jake had probably never read. Maya, you need specialized privacy counsel immediately. The notice cites Article 7.3 violations. Bailey and Associates has an excellent data privacy team. Can you handle it personally? I can work with our privacy specialists, but you need to move quickly. Day 45 of your notice period is Thursday. By 9 a.m. the next morning, Blackstone Holdings had officially retained Bailey and Associates for emergency privacy remediation. Their first act was requesting all documentation from Peterman Legal regarding previous privacy compliance work. The files were a disaster, outdated templates, boilerplate language, no evidence of the comprehensive audit I'd recommended. Martin Bailey walked into my temporary office grinning. Peterman's paralegal just called, wants to know if we have a template thingy for data privacy compliance. I told her we practice law, not Mad Libs. How are their other accounts holding up? That paralegal is handling 41 corporate accounts. Make that 40. Bennett just formally terminated Peterman's representation. Conflict of interest, she can't have the firm that missed the violation defending against it. The exodus accelerated when David Foster from Nexus Industries discovered similar issues, export compliance violations that could cost millions. Marcus, my former supervisor, started sending updates from inside Peterman. Emergency all-hands meeting. Jake screaming about loyalty, Tori crying in bathroom. 3 senior associates quit today. By Wednesday, Peterman Legal filed a cease and desist order against me personally and Bailey and Associates as a firm. Violation of non-compete, tortious interference, theft of trade secrets, their demand. An immediate injunction preventing us from communicating with any current or former Peterman client. Our lead litigator, Janet Stone, assembled the defense team. They're claiming you're using proprietary Peterman methodologies to steal clients. I opened my laptop. These are my templates, my checklists, created on my personal time, stored on my personal devices, time-stamped years before Jake Peterman even knew what a law firm was. Plus, I can show emails where I offered to implement firm-wide systems and was told it wasn't a priority. The emergency hearing was set for federal court, Judge Rebecca Davis presiding. The Peterman team filled one entire side of the courtroom. Bradford and Associates had sent their A-team, 6 partners, 12 associates, enough paper to deforest a small country. Judge Davis reviewed the filings. Peterman Legal alleges coordinated conspiracy to destroy their business. Ms. Stone, your response? Your Honor, our clients are sophisticated businesses, making independent decisions about legal representation. There's no conspiracy, only market forces responding to service failures. Bradford's lead counsel stood. Your Honor, the timeline speaks for itself. Ms. Miles was terminated on a Monday. By Friday, she was working for a competitor. Within 2 weeks, 26 clients had fired Peterman Legal. Do you have evidence of solicitation? The pattern itself is evidence. No firm loses 60% of its revenue by accident. Judge Davis looked at me. Ms. Miles, please stand. You were terminated without cause? I was told I lacked cultural fit and was replaced by someone without a law license. A murmur ran through the courtroom. William Peterman, the founder who'd flown back from retirement, looked ashen. And these clients who left Peterman, did you contact them? No, Your Honor. They contacted me. I have documentation of every communication. Your Honor, Bradford interrupted, that's legal semantics. Mr. Bradford, Judge Davis's voice could have frozen fire. I've been a judge for 15 years. I know the difference between legal semantics and legal fact. Ms. Miles received information she didn't request. Unless you can prove she solicited that information, you have no case. She turned to the courtroom. This case is about trust. Clients trusted Ms. Miles. When Peterman Legal broke faith with her, those clients exercised their right to seek representation elsewhere. Case dismissed with prejudice. Peterman Legal will pay defendants' legal fees. In the hallway afterward, William Peterman approached. This isn't over. Yes, it is, I replied. Check with Hartley Industries. I think you'll find they've made their decision. My phone was buzzing. A text from Patricia. Hartley just signed with Bailey & Associates. That makes 39 of your former clients. The final blow came when Jake made the fatal mistake of trying to defend himself on live television. A reporter asked, Is it true your girlfriend failed to file critical documents in the Hartley acquisition? Jake's face went red. Tori is highly qualified. Does she have a law license? Silence. The camera zoomed in as he realized what he'd just admitted on Houston Business Television. Within 48 hours, a consortium of 17 companies had formed to purchase Peterman's assets in a controlled bankruptcy. William kept his retirement fund. Jake got nothing except a public statement acknowledging that his mismanagement led to the firm's collapse. The final tally was devastating. By noon the next day, Peterman Legal officially ceased to exist. All 41 clients transitioned to new firms. 87 employees received job offers. The building lease was divided among 3 growing firms. Marcus texted me that afternoon. Got an offer from Brennan and Associates, senior associate position. Thank you. I didn't do anything, I replied. You did everything. Jake's working at his uncle's car dealership, by the way. Tori dumped him. 6 months later, I stood in my corner office at Bailey & Associates, now a full partner, watching the sunset over Houston's skyline. The former Peterman building sat empty, a for-lease sign where portraits of 3 generations once presided. My assistant knocked. Ms. Miles, your 5 p.m. is here. William Peterman walked in, looking healthier than when I'd last seen him. I owe you an apology, he began. You don't owe me anything. I do. You know what the ironic part is? The day before Jake fired you, I called from Italy, told him to promote you to junior partner, said you were the future of the firm. I kept my face neutral, but inside something twisted. What did he say? That you were too rigid, too focused on details, that the firm needed fresh perspectives. William laughed bitterly. Fresh perspectives. His girlfriend couldn't even spell whereas. He stood to leave, then paused. You know what my father told me when I started the firm? The law is about trust. Break that trust, and you're not a lawyer anymore. You're just a foolish man with a license. Jake never learned that. But you understood it from day one. That's why they followed you, Rachel. After he left, I returned to the window. 41 companies had trusted me with their legal needs. Now I had my own team, 6 associates, 3 paralegals, all chosen for competence over connections. My phone buzzed with a text from Tori. Ms. Miles, I'm applying to law school. Would you consider writing a recommendation? I stared at the message, then typed back, Send me your application materials. We'll discuss it over coffee. Because that's what the law was really about, not revenge or destruction, but building something worth protecting. Jake Peterman had taught me that lesson by failing to learn it himself. His family's firm was gone, but the relationships I'd built, the trust I'd earned, those survived and thrived.